Welcome back to the Hangover with Cosmos.
Exactly. But we're going to start with a little poetry.
Oh.
Day after day, day after day. Oh, God, I fucked it up already.
Wait.
Day after day, no breath, no motion, as idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean, water everywhere, and all the boards did shrink, water everywhere, nor any drop to drink. The most despair in 8 lines of poetry.
Ship life was rough.
It was complete. He shouldn't have shot in that albatross. That's all I got. Rhyme with Ancient Mariner, in case you're wondering. Never shoot an albatross with an arrow. But anyway, and so, or a gun or anything.
I was going to say, only with an arrow? Okay.
But guns work, yes. Because freedom. But anyway, Rhyme with Ancient Mariner, favorite poem ever.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, there's not a lot of water to drink in space.
and if you don't want to read the poem, listen to Iron Maiden's adaptation of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Listen to the Maiden.
Yeah,
that's fun. Okay, so in the main episode, we were doing a James Webb Space Telescope recap of what's been going on with JWST. Everything's good.
We're on first name basis here.
JWST is cool. He's cool and he's hot, but he's more cool.
But he's also cool.
He's cool where he needs to be cool.
But hot where he needs to be hot.
And things are on schedule and looking great.
So far, yeah.
And in 6 months, it's gonna do some shit. Roughly. 6 months.
Yeah, it's gonna do a lot of shit.
It's gonna do some shit. So that's the recap from the first episode.
Yeah, so no need to listen to that first hour and 5 minutes.
Everything that happens. Hi, Mom.
I love that your mom says hi. When she's already been on like the whole time.
What do you want to talk about in The Hangover?
Our bullet point says, "Who knows what we will talk about."
That is always a question.
I've already done my poetry reading.
You did do your poetry reading. It was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, okay. All right. One of the things that I would like for discovery of James Webb.
Okay. So these are your hopes for the future.
Yes.
Like Fancy Physics Man's 2022 hopes for the future.
But to quote Pennywise, living just for today. I haven't put a lot of thought into this.
Okay.
And so one of the things that I am looking forward to is James Webb being able to, where are we going? Okay, it's just me now. Liz is left, and
I was gonna open the gate so Winter could get in.
James Webb Space Telescope, using its ability to look at the spectrum of planets and so forth, being able to sniff the atmosphere.
Sniff the atmosphere, so to speak.
Yeah, and so
that is exciting and amazing.
Yeah, because right now we look at these worlds, these exoplanets that we've discovered. We know some of them have atmospheres because of the way that the light from the star passes through what little bit of atmosphere we see.
And you get like the absorption spectrum.
Right, and so, but James Webb is going to be able to take it to the next level. And so we're able to.
That's how we do next level.
Yeah, and so one of the things I'm really interested in is how much methane is in the universe.
Yes, because methane equals farts.
It does equal farts, but it also means that there is...
there could be a biological component to
biological component. There also can be a geological component. The thing is with... Leia's just devouring a cat.
She likes to chew on Winter's whiskers. Winter allows it. And
Winter is so nice. But anyway. Okay. Oh, good. Puppy farts. The thing is methane is not stable in atmospheres. Ultraviolet light breaks it apart really easily.
Okay.
And this is one of the things that's really exciting about Mars. Mars has this methane anomaly that shows up every year at the same time, kind of in the same place.
He's just got like seasonal IBS.
Yeah. And so if methane is broken down quickly, and you see an atmosphere that has methane in it, what's creating that methane?
Oh yeah, something is fueling it. Something's
fueling
producing that methane, because methane isn't just, you have to have things come together to make methane.
You do have to have things come together.
It's a compound.
It's a molecule, yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so if you have an atmosphere that is rich in methane, there's a chance that it's much cows on the surface of that planet.
Space cows. Space cows just farting away.
Just, hey, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
I mean,
they're living their best life until that one day.
Until that
one day in which they are not.
They get hit in the head.
And then, yeah.
And then a bunch of vegans get mad, but our tummies get full because they taste delicious.
Those steaks taste so good.
Anyway.
And in fact, when we leave the podcast today, we're gonna go have some cows and chickens.
Yeah, actually. All our leftovers from the past couple of days will be consumed. It's a real farm up in our bellies.
We're limiting the money that we spend.
Okay, Katie asks, what?
It was.
What? I read the first part before I read the second part. What?
Actually, well,
what
something like a cow.
What if the Big Bang was actually just a big fart? I mean, it's
a big
sudden,
fart.
Just expansion of space and time. I mean, that's kind of what it feels like when you fart a little bit. Like you've just expanded space and time.
I'm sorry.
Did it break you? I broke him. I finally did it.
Yeah, every time you fart is a cosmic. It's a Big Bang. It just made a universe.
I mean, it's like an expansion of nothing.
Of
something from nothing. But a lot of buildup. A lot of beans.
All right. There's a question of how them drinks treating you. They're doing okay.
Fantastically.
They're doing okay.
Fantastically. Honey hexagon.
The big fart apparently was a joke in the Family Guy. According to
what farted to make the Big Bang?
A cow.
Do you need something to fart? Could a fart just happen?
Oh, you know what? For the Vikings, it was a big fucking cow. It was a cow.
Well, of course, that was their main.
It was a cow, so it was a Viking cow that actually farted.
It's cows all the way down.
The universe. It's
cows all the way down.
No, chickens. I realize.
I'm supplementing.
I know, but Ron might be listening. Chickens all the way down. Chickens all the way down.
The cosmic frat party with other deities playing with a match. Classic.
All right, so if you don't understand the chickens all the way down reference, it actually is turtles all the way down. That's the official reference.
Yeah. And then we have an inside joke. You don't need to explain the inside joke.
Okay. Well, no, I'm not going to explain the inside joke. I'm going to. It's actually would explain where the turtles came from.
Oh, yeah, the turtles.
All right. So there was a lecture. I can't remember who it was. It's early 1900s, and I have his book on my bookshelf, but I just can't remember his drinks.
We have his book.
Yeah. Bertrand Russell. Bertrand Russell was giving a lecture in, I believe, England.
Naturally.
Naturally.
With Professor
Bertrand.
Merriweather.
Yes. And so he was talking about the universe, really. And this lady came up to him after his lecture and said, no, you're all wrong. You're all wrong. I just live in a house down there. I paint pictures of castles. That's all I do. But anyway, I know everything about the universe there is to know.
Oh no.
And she said that it was 4 turtles holding up the universe. And Bertrand Russell just asked the question.
We were just set back another 200 years as women right there.
Yeah. He asked the question, which, any of us would ask, what are the turtles standing on? And the lady said, it's turtles all the way down. It's just all the way down.
All the way down.
And we have a friend who really likes chicken, so now it's chickens all the way down.
All the way down. How long is all the way down?
All the way.
It's infinite.
It's just all the way.
Infinite turtles and chickens and cows.
Yes, farting.
Making
big bangs.
Hey, the multiverse is just a bunch of fucking farts.
Yep.
It's just a bunch of farts in the ether. And gas giants were created. Exactly.
I love how they last for Chaz or your mom. Fiber. Kaboom. Toots. Gas giants.
I was trying to fit in like a Uranus joke in there, but anyway. All right, that's fun.
Yeah, that's when you call it Uranus, though.
Yeah.
That's the appropriate time to call it Uranus.
Yes, even though the proper pronunciation is
Uranus.
Well, no, it's actually for Greek, Uranus.
Oh.
Uranus, which sounds way more classy.
It does.
Than Uranus, bro. Uranus.
Yeah, but Uranus is such a frat boy thing.
Just like Uranus.
Yeah. She said Uranus.
All right. Anyway, 5 minutes of fart jokes discussing James Webb sniffing atmospheres.
You're in charge.
On other planets, and
I'm just here.
The presence of methane, meaning there could be possible life.
Yeah, me and Smeeks, we're just here.
You and Smeeks. But okay, the exciting thing though is, we have to look for methane and oxygen, and
ozone is also ozon's not really
what relates to us, but there's also the possibility that there could not be carbon-based life only in the galaxy, i.e. universe.
Silicon.
But there could be silicon. There could be different life we can't even fathom becoming life. But all of the elements that we've named, that we've discovered and named as whatever we've named them in our own, dichotomy. I don't know, I'm saying words at this point. But those elements, they exist the same across the universe. Our potassium is still a potassium in different names to maybe some other intelligent, species.
Right.
Our hydrogen or helium, they all work the same way here as they do elsewhere in the universe. So therefore, carbon could form with other materials, structures of intelligent capabilities elsewhere. That was a long way of saying, yeah, obviously there's other life out there.
Well, yeah, it's got to be. The quote Ellie from Contact is awful waste of space. Actually, it's her dad.
Yeah,
that makes the quote.
The universe is so unimaginably huge. It's big in a way that we can we can't possibly understand. We can take in a number or whatever, but it's meaningless. It's unfathomable.
Mm-hmm. You actually bring up a really good point in that long monologue.
I did it. I like monologues.
Right, and 100 years ago, the question of, is physics the same here as it is across the universe?
Now, you said 100 years ago. That means in 1921. Do you mean 100 years ago or more?
100, 110 years ago. Basically, to the point bbwhere Einstein had to say, the laws of physics here are the same as the laws of physics everywhere. He made that assumption, which meant that it wasn't a done deal in the minds of physicists. But it
well,
turns
you know, when you assume, you make an ass
out of you and me. Yep. Craziest thing is when I worked a job and the boss actually said that one time. I was like, oh shit. Well, this is the 1990s. I guess you could say that. But anyway, so that is just the assumption that physics here is the same as there is relatively a new thing in our understanding of the universe.
I don't know why not, though, because I mean, the universe itself is homogeneous.
Right, but
you know, so.
But you can't assume that. And so at least if you're a scientist, you can't assume that. And it wasn't until the 1920s, the 1930s, that we're looking out into the universe, and we are seeing that the universe is homogeneous, that the universe is the same everywhere we look, and the laws of physics dictate the same thing here as they do across the universe, all the way across the universe. That's a relatively new thing, which
is crazy. I mean, if we look at all of human history, I mean, we were just watching like a documentary on some like new discoveries in Egypt with the pharaohs and burial grounds and stuff, and that's like from 5,000 years ago,
right?
And just this leap in just less than 100 years of exploration and thinking, which then makes me wonder and marvel about 500 years from now.
I know, right?
Natural disasters like climate change and our own stupidity with COVID and whatever aside, and whatever, assuming,
we survive this,
assuming it's like, like this, we've had such a leap in technology in such a short period of time, respectively to human history, that it's just like, how are our understandings going to be expanded in that maybe even a mere 200 years or 300,
I'm not even give you that long. I'm going to say 20 years.
Yeah.
What is it that James Webb is going to show us about the universe that is going to change the way that we see the universe? And I'm going to use the Hubble Space Telescope as an example.
Little HST?
Yep. And so the Hubble Space Telescope goes up and
comes down. No, it doesn't.
No.
It doesn't come
God,
down.
no. The Hubble Space Telescope has completely, fundamentally changed our view of the universe. With the Hubble Space Telescope, we have discovered dark energy, which was not known of on January 1st, 1999.
That's weird.
But by the end of the year,
I was
it
alive.
was. You were. And hopefully everybody listening to the podcast.
I mean, but to not have something like dark energy known of and discovered during your, like, when you were alive, even if you weren't, like, conscious of it because you were just an asshole young child going on teenager.
But
it's amazing.
I know, right? But that has fundamentally changed our view of the universe and everything in it. Now we have the James Webb Space Telescope, which is 100 times more powerful than the Hubble Space Telescope. What discoveries are we going to find? I mean, and they discovered dark energy within the first decade of the Hubble Space Telescope being up. And what are we going to find? We don't know what we don't know. It's going to be an amazing ride.
I feel like every generation is kind of like, this is the most exciting time of discovery and I'm glad to be alive, But it's like, yes, because we keep advancing and getting better, so every generation is
You're right.
the most exciting time, of discovery until the next, basically, right. So, I mean, this is really exciting, but then it's like, oh, the next generation is going to have it even better unless we revert to medieval times because of our own ignorance and
which
dumbassity.
Is a strong possibility.
Yes.
Your mom brings up this very great philosophical question.
Oh no, Mom, don't! You can't ask questions like that because my brain starts melting.
All right, but the question is, but you're looking at our universe. What about outside our universe?
We can't yet.
James Webb is not going to show us
No.
outside the universe. All we can do is infer.
What's the range of James Webb as far as like say can it find planets in another galaxy?
Ooh.
Or let's say Andromeda, because Andromeda is the closest. It's the largest closest. I guess the small large Magellan.
I don't think so. I think we're far out from that. But
it can detect, galaxies that are basically the first galaxies to ever have formed.
Yeah, I don't know if it can actually look at a star in Andromeda and go use the coronagraph and go, hey, there's an exoplanet right there.
Okay.
Having said that, there are telescopes that have. There's a telescope that actually has a exoplanet candidate that we cannot confirm.
Oh,
in another galaxy. Yeah. And it'd be the first
Andromeda?
one. No, it's not Andromeda. It's actually further out.
It's further out than
It's further
Andromeda?
out. Now, it didn't actually visually take a picture of it or anything like that. And it's inferred with what was
the light?
Yeah, maybe it was the light curve that did it, but the transit method. The James Webb Space Telescope could see a bumblebee flying around at a distance of 250,000 miles away. It can detect that bumblebee on the surface of the moon if the bumblebee was there, which is not, but it can see it. But you're talking about
moonbees.
You're talking about millions of light years away.
Yeah.
And so it becomes a little bit more problematic at that point.
I guess I don't really think about like how spread apart galaxies are, because then you're getting the distances are.
It's mind-boggling.
I mean, we're just in like the.
Say it.
I want to say it, but I don't want to say it because I oversay it.
Say it. Please say it.
The horse and buggy days of space exploration within our own galaxy, and even kind of within our local group, if that, our solar system and we're so primitive, yet we feel like we're right this close to the Jetsons. Like we're almost at flying cars.
She was doing the 1 inch.
This is only on YouTube. It's the Hangover.
Oh yeah. All right, but get back to your mom's question. Everything that we're seeing with telescopes and stuff like that
is in our own galaxy.
It's in our own universe.
It's in our own universe. I mean, obviously other galaxies we see.
Now there is some really exciting stuff when looking at the cosmic background radiation. There's some a little bit of a warmer spots.
There's slight temperature.
Yeah, it was either warmer or colder region, and that implied two brains,
like galaxies bumping,
multiverses, universes colliding into each other, and creating that spot,
which is.
But that's interpreting the data that you're seeing from the cosmic background.
I mean, here basically, if we're talking about another universe, that is something that has formed under either the same or entirely different circumstances than our universe. So we cannot
to your mom's question.
Yes, which we cannot say that the laws of physics would work in another universe the same way they work here, because our universe. And we don't know we don't know if there are other universes. But assuming if there were other universes, they could be formed by a big bang, maybe by a big crunch. They could be formed different ways. But then you could have the fundamental forces of nature not split the same way. You maybe don't have gravity come off and with the strong and weak nuclear forces and whatever else, maybe you have, a couple of them stick together and something else come off, so physics could be completely 100% different and opposite than it is here.
And you know what? Most likely it is. And there's going to be universes out there. If there are multi-universes, there are going to be universes where gravity is slightly stronger.
It's not going to be recognizable to our universe in any way, shape, or form.
And so if let's say gravity is much stronger than it is in this universe, then...
Start the diet plan.
What?
Start that diet plan.
Yeah, I know, right? Basically, you're not going to have stars that are formed. They will form, but it'll be briefly, and then just going to become black holes. I mean, gravity's going to overwhelm everything, and it's going to collapse down into neutron stars, eventually black holes.
There could be like universes of absolutely nothing right now.
Well, there are. If there are multi-universes, then there are. Let's say that the strong force is much weaker than what it is here in our universe. Maybe so much so that that carbon cannot form.
What is just for listeners, viewers, what does the strong force do?
The strong force actually is what binds quarks together.
So matter, basically.
Well, yeah, the nucleus. And so it is the strongest force in the universe. However, it
binds the smallest.
But it binds the smallest. But it only works on a very short range, and so it basically limits the size of atoms.
It's like the 2.4 gig wireless versus the 5 gig. The 2.4 has a longer range. But like the 5, when a myriad has the more robust connection.
Exactly, but it limits the size of nuclei of atoms, and so you get to a point where
if it's weaker, you can't have as big of things.
Right, and so like if it's weaker, then you cannot have as many elements on the periodic table in that universe. And if it's small enough to where you can't get carbon, if it's weak enough where you can't get carbon, then you can't get life as we know it. Because we're carbon based. I got a bunch of carbon in me. Liz has a bunch of carbon in her.
Oh, I do.
And calcium. We got a lot of calcium as well. But
iron.
Yeah. And carbon comes before oxygen. And so if you can't have carbon, you can't have oxygen.
And then we can't breathe.
Yeah, pretty much. And so there are definitely, probably, most universes where you can't have life as we know it.
I feel like life is probably robust throughout the universe. I mean, the size of the universe is incomprehensible. So when I say robust, I mean like I don't even know what that means. But I feel like life in our universe is probably robust.
Mm-hmm.
But
overall, I think,
distance, size, and how time works, it allows maybe very few rare opportunities for life to come together, where it's like you have different species from opposite ends of a galaxy meet, or even intergalactic kind of meetings, that kind of thing. But I forgot where I was going. I was on a roll.
I think I get what you're saying though. Like life is robust in that it's going to in the universe, in that you're going to find life in the universe.
If a universe has the capacity, the qualities to be able to form life at all in its barest, then that is going to be robust throughout that universe, because those aspects are not going to be limited to that one single inconsequential point in that huge ass fucking universe.
Right. I think overall in the universe, life is robust, but locally it's very fragile.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so spread out. Everything's so spread out that two species from a different origin point in a single galaxy or even intergalactic is going to be an incredibly rare.
Beastie Boys just popped in my head.
An incredibly rare thing to happen, that the majority of life in said universe won't meet another life, and it would be rare for them to even discover the presence of other life forms very far away. But what I'm then also saying is that the universe that has the capacity to form life in itself is going to be rare among the multiverse that's out there.
Yeah.
So
no, completely.
Even though like our existence here and being able to have the intellectual evolution to fucking make lights and stream our consciousness throughout pixels over imaginary things, things we can't see, invisible things, like that is lucky and rare, but then at the same time so special in like the whole cosmos of cosmos,
right?
You know, that we get to be here and that we have the awareness to interact and feel things and be aware of our presence, and then also to then expand and explore and see what else we can find. So even if we never find any evidence of other life out there, which I'm 100% will say statistically has to be out there in this universe.
Yeah, I'm going to say in our lifetime we're going to discover it.
Even if we don't, I can feel like, hey, even though when I die, nothing happens because I just stop. I just stop. I don't go anywhere. Like, I got to exist and I got to be a miraculous, in essence, part of that universe.
Right.
You know? Even though there's nothing miraculous at all about it. It's just time and fucking random nature of physics that comes together.
Yeah.
You know, but I think that's cool. And that
it's really cool.
And that's great.
You know, I completely agree with you. And,
that was a lot.
You know, the thing is that what's really cool about us as a species, even though we're actively trying to kill ourselves.
We're horrible to each other and every other species.
Okay, one of the endearing aspects of us. All right, so we're able to create things like the James Webb Space Telescope.
Yes.
I keep trying to bring it back.
Pictures on cave walls.
Even though, because you said this at some point, that
my ramblings.
It wasn't rambling. It wasn't rambling at all. There was like
ramblings of Liz.
There was a lot of great stuff in it.
Okay.
We might not. You mentioned that we might not be able to, paraphrasing here, meet other life in the universe. Really, unless it's on Mars or something like that. You wrote about
Mars, it would be
but the James Webb Space Telescope is going to allow us to look out and connect us, hopefully, to some life on another planet. Yeah. Just by looking at that planet and going, hey,
all right,
they're farts.
Even if like we're seeing dinosaurs on said planet, but then there are actually like Vulcans. You know, we don't know at that point.
Yeah, we don't know if they're Vulcans or dinosaurs.
Like, hey, all right, cool.
And so we become a member of this larger community. Universal community. And I swear to God, I know I've said this, is I really hope for that because I really want the Star Trek universe.
I know. I want no money and replicators. I can just be like, hey, tuna melt. And I get a tuna melt.
Didn't we actually talk about that last night or something when we were watching Discovery?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
No. It wasn't when we were watching Discovery. It was something else, but...
Oh, it had to have been Discovery, though, wasn't it?
No, I don't think it was Discovery. It was something else, because it was like... I don't know. Anyway.
All right, so your mom asked an interesting question. Okay, unless they are shrinking, which is...
I don't want to think about what we're expanding into. I can't think about what's outside the universe, because
okay,
then
but
it's
that's not her question.
I know, but...
expand, or basically... Well, I'm going to add an R that was not there. Are other universes expanding into us? And the answer is no. Our universe is self-contained. Other universes are self-contained.
How do we know?
I think it's pretty... what evidence do you have?
What's in between the walls?
Ultima Thule. Anyway, you might have these multiverses, these brains, as string theory would say. Oh my God, I can't take you anymore. That would just bump into each other and that type of thing.
This long.
Oh, first 13 minutes. You're like pouring champagne all over yourself.
What?
Didn't you just spill?
Yeah, but I didn't spill champagne.
Yes, you did. It was minute 13.
No, I didn't actually spill it. I just put the thing. I didn't actually spill it.
Well, I assumed because
fair assumption.
It's a day.
All right. Yeah, Jack. When you watch Discovery or any science fiction, this is what you got to do.
Okay, everybody, take a drink. I will I will ship you a penny. If you can, a penny.
Do we have a penny?
We do in a jar.
Oh.
If you can tell me what reference that is. Brandon, you can answer
this
question.
Brandon is uneligible. And by the fact that it was a reference, I'm pretty sure
Star Wars or Lord of the Rings.
People can figure it out.
I will need your address. Because I'm going to be shipping out.
A penny?
I'll be shipping a penny.
You can't send money by mail.
Why can't you?
I don't know. It's not good to send money by mail.
I used to get
$5.
It
could get stolen.
I used to get $5 from my grandparents all the time for my birthday.
I know. The key structure came to the discovery. All right. Well,
you're in charge.
I know. Am I though? All right. Well, James Webb Space Telescope. It's out there, and it's doing its thing. And in about 6 months, it's going to start doing more things that are going to enlighten us and expand our view of the cosmos. And I'm excited. And
we're going to have cosmos as we expand our cosmos.
And I'm very excited. This is I'm very happy that I'm aware now of space and astronomy. I think most people, it's just like in a background thought of existing in a solar system, and what the planets are, and then it grumbles about Pluto should be a planet, blah. It's a dwarf planet. Get over it. Fuck off at this point. I am, but having astronomy brought to the forefront of something I am passionate about and excited about, has really changed my perspective on everything, and I'm very happy that I'm aware of that, and aware of just a larger universe out there, essentially, because I think it's important. I think what most people don't realize is that James Webb Space Telescope cost $10 billion. $10 billion. That's a lot of fucking money.
Well, in our
lives, but that is what money should be spent on, because it is something as simple, or rather the most complex and hugest engineering feat of humanity. That is something that helps advance us and grow our ability to exist and survive in a harsh world and a harsh universe. Like, I hate to break it to you, but we weren't made to be here. We evolved through many iterations and many versions of what we are today through luck and circumstance. I mean, if that asteroid never fucking hit in Chicxulub and wiped out the majority of these huge fucking predatory reptiles,
lizards,
I hate to break it to you, but you want to be fucking upset at your barista for getting your Starbucks order wrong.
No,
like,
we're
a lot of luck came into this, and the fact that we have now evolved the cognizant ability to then like question and think and then develop these things that can help us learn more and understand our place in this universe more. I mean, that is amazing and special and lucky and worth spending our time and money on, even if it fails, even if something bad happens, because it can, because you're dealing with unknowns. You're relying on your knowledge of math and physics and but there and engineering, but the universe is a wild and crazy and cockeyed place,
right?
That unforeseen circumstances can happen. So It's exciting and it's worth, and it's so much worth just to take pictures of the sky.
Right.
If people are like, oh, I have a lot of money to spend to take pictures of the sky, it's 100%.
Right. I have to say this: if your complaint is that James Webb Space Telescope costs $10 billion, and you think that's a lot of money, and we should be spending that elsewhere, Warren Buffett,
like for the homeless.
Warren Buffett. Oh, the people saying that 10 billion is too much probably aren't saying for the homeless. They're probably saying, "Oh, we need to put that in military."
How about instead of launching our ass into space, Musk and Bezos or whatever, I don't know, help fellow mankind. We don't need you to fucking go to space.
Warren Buffett, his the amount of money he has is 10 James Webb Space Telescopes.
That's a lot of money that can go to good things.
If your complaint is that James Webb Space Telescope is too much, what is your complaint about Jeff Bezos, about Warren Buffett, about the Tesla dude? What's his name?
Musk. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk. I was going to say Mark Cuban, but I knew that wasn't right. And so 10 billion really is not a lot. So yeah, 10 billion is not a lot.
Nowadays,
like you were saying. It's worth it.
Change.
10 billion is worth it to be able to, understand the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And you say take pictures of the universe, but there's so much more. It's deeper.
Yeah, plus not to mention the fact that what we benefit in new technologies and, things that we can utilize here on Earth from space exploration. Like you wouldn't have a ton of medical equipment and, the things that you use today from it. Jack had to leave. He's got to go off to his rehearsal for grown-up story time. But he was visualizing a T-Rex barista.
Isn't this grown-up story time right here?
My mom says, "Can those little arms reach the glasses?"
Oh, a T-Rex.
But you know what? They're probably on like a chain.
No, they have the little. What's the little thing where you?
The little claw thing.
Little claw.
You can just.
You just go like that, and it just picks up your drink.
Imagine a T-Rex in a top hat, or just.
That makes me think the alien YouTube video.
The alien with busting out the stomach and come on, my heart bladder, come on, whatever it is.
My baby.
All right, well, lots of things to look forward to. We're excited. We hope you're excited. And I guess in 6 months, we'll be covering what's been going on and what kind of science things are going to start ramping up with James Webb.
Well, we should, because it would have made one complete orbit around L2.
And we will do that.
Well, so we know what our July episode is.
It's an angel. Yeah, so we know what July is, but tune in next time for...
We don't know.
We don't know. It'll be something space-related, and we'll be drunk for at least...
The Hangover.
But thank you all for joining us. Follow us on all the things at Drinking Cosmos on Twitter, Cosmos with Cosmos, on everything else. We hope you had fun. Be safe. I'm glad it was a wild ride. It was a very wild ride. You're welcome. That's what we're here for. That's the whole point.
So cheers.
And we will see everybody next time.